Alrighty, guys. Welcome to another edition of the Up and Over AEW Dynamite recap and review. Oh, goodness. Firstly, let me introduce my man that is streaming from a unique place in the household. That's Big Papa C, old Courtland.
I am here. Phone's charging, but we live, baby.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. And then, of course, we have our Cadillac cowboy himself. That's going to be my man, Big Ethan.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
The welcoming wagon.
The welcome wagon.
Those of you that know about the Up and Over podcast know that we have an upandoverpodcast.com website where you can go on there and buy merchandise of all sorts. I got a package in the mail of 2 beautiful coffee mugs. I'm going to show off Ethan's first. Ethan showed up looking spick and spiffy as can be.
Sharp.
I'm just going to show off mine. You don't know how hard it is being Mike Klinsky. Fellas.
I was waiting for it.
Fellas. We had one hell of a night. We had AEW Dynamite from the Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
That's a mouthful.
This was a fun time tonight, fellas. It was a bit of a unique night. It just felt, I don't know, it felt like way longer than 2 hours, which was a good thing. Right off the rip, of course, we get Excalibur Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone welcoming us to tonight's episode of AEW. We have Wardlow coming out unceremoniously with MJF cutouts, and Justin Roberts welcomes down each member of the Pinnacle before welcoming MJF in an absolutely ridiculous introduction.
I wish you had it written down, because, oh my God, dude, it's so long.
I couldn't keep up with it as it was happening.
It's so great.
I genuinely could not keep up with it as it was happening. MJF, there's so much here. I didn't write nearly as much down as I probably should have. But MJF welcomes the big man, or not welcomes, thanks the big man, Shawn Spears, not Wardlow, for helping him win last week twice against CM Punk. And Wardlow is he
beside himself?
Is he quietly like one of the best facial responses in AEW?
Oh, yeah.
He's great.
He's so good.
He's spot on, man.
God, dude, it ruled. MJF says that he's better than Brett in Canada, better than Piper in Portland, and damn sure better than Punk in Chicago. He also says
I love it, dude.
He's moving on to the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Punk comes out and brings Sting and Darby down, and threatens
Is that their
Starby or Ding. We can call it Ding if you want. And threatened to whoop the Pinnacle's ass. He tries to get Wardlow to leave the Pinnacle, which fucking popped the crowd, and it popped my ass because I was like, finally. But, of course, nothing happens. Punk wants a rematch with Maxwell. That's what this comes down to. And eventually it boils down to Punk and a partner of his choosing, not Darby or Sting, versus FTR tonight. And if Punk's team wins, he gets MJF whenever, wherever. That's, I feel like gimmick infringement on Orange Cassidy, but we're not going to argue that. Man, I think this might be the first time in AEW where like the first 20 minutes of the episode has absolutely no wrestling to it.
Yeah,
not a single
definitely.
bit.
And I think it's the first time they've built an angle in one night. Like they always announce everything, so this was refreshing for me. I just loved the opening segment, and I know I've been critical of the MJF and Punk talking portions of their feud, but this was good shit. You know, it was just simple. You set up an angle for later, and with all the rumor and innuendo about who's showing up and how's it going to be, how big is it going to be, even though not to spoil anything for anyone who might not know yet, it ends up being someone who is on the roster. You know, it still gave you that excitement of who could it be, you know? So I really liked how they set this up. to build towards something later in the same night instead of just saying, "Oh, on Rampage we'll have this match to do this." It's just like, "Hey, later tonight, fuck it, you find a partner, we're gonna dance." You know.
I actually had it written down that it was going to take place on Rampage, and I feel like that's just what I'm used to at this point. It's like, oh, we built this angle, and on Friday you'll see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this went same night. My favorite part about this is that CM Punk went in the back and tweeted at Danhausen, seeing if he was free, and then asked Samoa Joe if he was in the country. And man, what a time that would have been. Anything you want to add to that, Courtland?
Not a whole lot. No, it's pretty much wrapped up in a good bow. I think that the best part of it all was CM Punk saying he wanted his rematch, and he said, "Not against you. I wanted it against that big son of a bitch Wardlow," or something like that. And he's like, "Because that's who beat me." And just putting like that little salt on the wound of having that question in MJF's head of like, did Wardlow beat CM Punk or did I? Like, is Wardlow better than me? And just having that little bit for the future, it makes me really excited, man. Because Wardlow is, like you said, he's one of those guys that knows where that camera's at, and he knows when it's on him, and he's really good at facial expressions. He doesn't have to say anything for you to know how he feels. And that's good shit, man. Because all we get to do for these last few months is speculate, and it's been fun. So I've enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
It feels good to question shit instead of just like knowing what's being laid out in front of you, and you know that this is going to start here and end by this time. AEW doesn't really have a time frame. It's like this shit's going to run until we decide to stop running it. Is what it feels like.
MJF said something in this that he always has one line that fucking pops me big. And he said he acknowledged the really long lay on CM Punk and like talking in his ear after the match. Yeah. He said, "I whispered 2 words to him. You suck." It was so sick, dude. He is so good.
Because I mean, you had to bring it up because I mean, the internet was like, "Oh, MJF thanking him is so great. What a nice guy. Like, oh, he's really nice underneath." But him going on TV being like, "Nah,
not what I said at all." I just think it's awesome. So good. He is hilarious on the mic, man. He crushes it. Speaking about crushing it, we go to break, we come back. Andrade is talking with Sting and Darby Allin. For some reason, they didn't just keep Sting and Darby Allin out in front of the crowd. They just decided, we'll do it in the back. Fuck it. So Tony Schiavone's interviewing them. Andrade says that the whole world knows that little kid Darby works for Sting. Sting and Darby brush Andrade off, and Darby says that he has bigger things to do than work for Andrade, like becoming the next TNT champion. Yes, Jeff, I see you. Sting, listen, man, it's whatever. Andrade says that Darby will work for him. He says that Darby wants the TNT champion, but that Andrade will be the next TNT champion. I don't know, man.
I'm not interested.
I love Andrade, right? Great worker.
Oh, yeah.
God, make Jose talk for him. He's the fucking assistant.
I just feel like they're trying so hard to make Andrade something he's not. You know, you don't need to try so hard to make him talk and do it. Like, the dude I've said it on this podcast before, the dude looks cool as fuck and he can go. Just let him look cool as fuck and fucking go. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. It's just, it's just annoying to watch some of these segments because I'm just like, this is so
Is Andrade injured?
Not that I know of.
When was his last televised match?
He might
was it the Pac match?
Might have a broken heart, but that's beside the point, fellas.
Damn. Well,
Jordan said, "I love Andrade and Darby. Together, I couldn't care less." I disagree. I just think giving Andrade so much room to talk, like, you fucking put him in the AHFO, like, good lord.
Dude, that's like the drizzling shits.
It's fucking bad, dude. It sucks. Jeff said the last match was the Cody match.
Oh, the flaming table.
Maybe he got burnt to shit, brother.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. I kind of like Darby. I'm on the fence about it. One week I like him, and then I don't see him wrestle for a while, and I'm like, dude, get this fucking real life clown off of my TV screen. Um, but then he wrestles again, and I'm like, dude, stop trying to kill yourself. I'll give you fucking 3 stars if you just stop.
If you just
Like,
relax, dude.
So like I like some of his work, but like man, really a lot of it's just anytime I see Darby, I just feel like it's long winded and like he doesn't say anything for it to feel long winded. I feel like I'm already over it. I wish that either do something really cool with him, move him up, shake him around, throw him in the tag division. Like, do not keep him in the same TNT title picture where we just see the same 6 dudes getting cycled and cycled like the Intercontinental Championship has. Because, like, that's the last thing anyone wants. People want the TNT title to be newcomers, people that are on the rise, people that have worked the darks, that they've worked the elevations, and they get to that point and they have that match on TNT. But instead, we get the same old Darby match, which is take a scary ass apron bump. Let's make sure we pull up the mat so we can get a concrete spot. And then I'm going to do something really stupid with my hands by my side. And like, it's the same formula that I feel like the same reasons we used to rip apart Triple H and Shawn Michaels and like the people that everyone say stick to formulas. Like Darby is a formula.
I would just like it to be known that I've never disrespected Shawn Michaels, never have, never will. Yeah, I don't know. AHFO is the drizzling shits, Ethan. But I would be excited for Darby Andrade, and I hope that's where it ends up. And I hope we get there quick.
Andrade against Darby or Sammy will be good, but it's just...
Yeah, it'll be good, but I don't necessarily... I hope it's not a long program. I don't want it to be one of those, like, oh, we're going to do it here, but I'm going to let the next 6 weeks build up to our next pay-per-view, but we're going to do a tag match. We're going to do this, like, run-in match. We're going to do a one-on-one that's advertised, but you're going to get attacked from behind, and then it's not going to happen. We're going to push it this far. Like, I just want it to be, have the match, get it done, either shake hands at the end or don't and just move on.
Yeah.
Andrade can be doing a lot of great stuff with a lot of other people that I'd be way more excited about than Darby Allin and Sting. Like, keep Darby Allin and Sting with this Acclaimed shit. It's funny. The Acclaimed has got shit for days on them, and I love to hear it.
Great.
Yep.
We get Wardlow versus The Blade. That was a blast. Wardlow was literally in business attire. Has less than a real, like, maybe 2 minutes to get dressed from business attire. Dude, dressed to the nines. My man had a fresh haircut and everything.
My man's got jobs.
I mean,
he works for AEW and MJF.
He's making double paycheck. I don't want to hear about double paycheck Brandon Cutler. It's double paycheck War Dog, buddy. Wardlow comes out with no wrist tape. No, he's nothing. He just is literally in a singlet with boots, barely has those fuckers tied, and he looks like $1 million. The Blade comes out, and I'm like, wow, they're really going to feed the Blade to Wardlow and just squash him out. He didn't, man. A feed. This was really enjoyable. I was surprised at the amount of offense that Blade got in. And we still ended up getting a powerbomb symphony from Wardlow. It was good shit. Didn't overstay its welcome. It did exactly what it needed to do. I wish that we didn't get so much selling from Wardlow. I feel like if you're gonna make him, I hate to even compare him to Goldberg, but that Goldberg guy that just fucking takes everybody out.
Oh, that's Hook, bud.
You're right, dude. My bad. My fault. You know what? Disregard. This was fucking great. I went 2.5. Courtland, would you go on it?
I'll go the same 2.5. It's respectable. I love to see Wardlow sell, even if it's a little too much. But I mean, we forget that. When was the last time we really saw Wardlow sell? You know, he's been doing squashes for so long, so it's a good change of pace for him. And it's good that he's in a match with someone that has some credibility, rather if it's tag team or singles. Like, it's somebody we know. It's not just a squash. And it went the duration, and it got in and out before anyone disliked it. So 2.5, no complaints. I enjoyed it. Love the symphony.
How could you not? Ethan, what'd you go?
It's great.
I went 2.5 as well. I just thought it was great for both guys because you get Blade on there to keep him relevant because Wardlow is way more relevant right now. Blade hasn't been doing much, and they gave him just enough to where if you see him in another singles match, you won't expect it to just be a worthless squash. You'll be like, oh, okay, Blade's going to get some stuff in, and we'll have a good little match. Mm-hmm. Same with Wardlow. You know, you put him in there with someone who actually means something so you can show, okay, he can beat more than just your squash guys. So,
right.
Real quick question. Do you think that they wanted it to be a straight squash match and you think that Blade talked up?
Nope.
Or they planned it to be
I think they hold Blade to a certain degree. You know, I don't think
I just want to make sure that y'all feel the same because that dude he's great, man. He deserves the world and he gets his ass beat for you all the time.
Yep.
Yeah. And you know, it's not like he's just some squat. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's ever going to really even get a title or anything. Maybe a tag title some point, but
if
you know,
Butcher
he's just a steady hand. You know, keep him strong. You know what I mean? Not strong, but you know, don't squash him out. You know, he's somebody who can have those solid TV matches once a month or once every 2 months, and you know, he's got a good look. You know, I really like how they did this all the way around. 2.5.
Yeah, they put him in the Hardy thing, HFO, right? That's what it's called.
Yeah, we're now at the AHFO.
Okay, whatever. So they did that because Butcher got injured, right?
Yes. I don't know why they did it, but Butcher's injured again, so
yeah, and that's what sucks is like I feel like he got injured, so they were like, "What the fuck do we do?" And they just put Blade with them.
Yeah.
To like work on the side, and then they were about to pull him out of it. They had that one good match with Butcher and Blade back together, and then here we are, right back to Hardy shit.
Yep, what a blast! Post match, you had Shawn Spears hitting a down Blade with a chair shot, and he just busted a load immediately after doing it. Shawn Spears might be one of the most low key, like funniest people on this roster.
Yeah,
he is
100%.
Something to
it's so great, dude.
It's ridiculous is what it is.
The chills, the eye roll.
He's like, I'm like, oh,
don't say Shawn Spears too loud, the Fullers will come hopping in.
I know. They go to bed at 10 o'clock, yet they'll still fucking open their eyes like a fucking demon. Wardlow was pretty pissed off that Shawn Spears hit Blade.
As he should, taking this thunder.
Yeah, they're not really being so subtle with the War Dog angst building up, is what I'll say. We get a Penta promo, and are we getting Penta Dark in AEW?
Dude, fingers motherfucking crossed, because whenever you got Brody coming over, and you got the house, right? And they have Black has attacked Pac and injured his eyes, of course. And we get this match where Pac comes out cutting these promos about justice and how I'm a new man. I can see clearly now. And Penta gets defeated. Why wouldn't he go dark? Just like everyone else has.
Yeah.
I feel like it makes sense. If there's any time to do it, it's definitely right about now.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been talking about it for months. I've been talking about it for fucking months. I want Penta Dark in AEW. I think that I've said it before to you, Mike, like years ago, I feel like when Penta wrestles in all black, it's like he's taking on a different moveset. He's taking on a completely different psychology of wrestling.
Yep.
And it's so awesome to see the switch happen. His work in Lucha Underground, especially the work with Vampiro, as Pentagon Dark, is some of the best storytelling in wrestling to me in the last decade. It's some great shit. So if you haven't looked at it, I think they threw it up on Tubi. Season 3 and 4 are on YouTube. But dude, Pentagon Dark I'm so happy for it. I really hope it comes.
And I think it's time to shake something up with the Death Triangle. I mean, I love all of those guys in their own ways so much, but Penta is the one I don't know. Pat could work as a heel too, but I think doing this Penta Dark thing would be sick. And you can still, Pac and Ray Phoenix have done tags against the Bucks and stuff, so you can keep them tagging. But eventually, I'm ready for that Pac heel turn too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot you can do there, but we'll see
What was I gonna say? I just lost it. Pac's work in 205 Live as a heel, as the cruiserweight champion, is fucking amazing.
And he carried that whole thing when he returned to Dragon Gate over in Japan, and he had an awesome run leading the heel unit over there.
That's badass.
He's a phenomenal heel, and he hasn't had that chance to have that main event run yet, but I think it'll come. Just like the Lucha Bros tag title run didn't come immediately. The Pac world title run will happen. I'm confident.
Oh yeah, dude, it's got to. If it's not the world title, then it's gonna be your TNT championship.
Yeah.
But like that's another caliber of matches that championship is gonna hold over time once it gets to these people like your Pacs, your Pentas. And these matches are only gonna build the legacy of that championship. And the people that you put in these matches holds the legitimacy of that title. So hopefully moving forward, they're really like, what's the best words of saying it? Really hand pick the reputation you want that championship to have.
Mm.
And you do it by picking the participants of your matches.
It's exciting times. We get a Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, and Sammy Guevara Inner Circle entrance coming down to Jericho's Judas theme for the mandatory Inner Circle powwow. Mandatory attendance. Jericho says that they haven't seen Santana and Ortiz all day long. Then they come out to their own music. And I popped huge because it felt like a great moment. This whole segment for Santana and Ortiz was excellent. Jericho wants an explanation for their disrespect a few weeks ago. Santana says that he and Ortiz are sick of being second fiddle to Jericho and being the guys that help Jericho with his bidding. This promo from Santana was fucking awesome. He said Jericho better be thanking Ortiz because if it wasn't for him, Santana would have dropped Jericho a long time ago. Fucking tough.
Mm-hmm.
Jericho says that Proud and Powerful blew their chance at the tag titles a year ago and that it's not any fault of his own. Jericho says that he brought them into the Inner Circle and he can damn well kick them out of the Inner Circle too. The crowd kind of was like, fucking do it then. Don't be a pussy about it. Don't talk about it. Be about it. The line of this promo was Jericho saying, I might have gotten the wrong two guys from LAX, and then looking over at Hager and saying, do you still have Homicide and Hernandez's phone numbers? Which causes Santana to grab Jericho by the neck. So sick.
Yes. Good timing.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just love it. To me, it's a callback to when King was feuding with Mox, or when King was feuding with Punk. And as soon as Punk said Homicide's name, he's like, don't you say his fucking name.
Yep.
I just love that they are holding Homicide, even though he's not with the company, even though he had that one appearance. He's just this outside guy who's
he's part of the story.
Felt. Yep.
Yeah. Because his what he's done for independent wrestling is bar none. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if this whole company is running off the backbone of independent wrestling, why isn't he the forefront of at least one or two of your storylines? Even if he's
the guy, he's what put Santana and Ortiz and Kingston, like that's their
exactly
fucking forefather. You know what I mean? He's the guy who influenced them so much. So I just love how they added that in there.
Sammy Two Belts interrupts them, or breaks them up rather, and Jericho tells Sammy to shut up, and it hurt Sammy's feelings.
What?
So bad that Sammy decides, if y'all don't fix this shit, I'm out. I thought
again.
That's right. Yeah, sorry. I thought that this was over.
If y'all don't stop, I'm gonna leave.
And then Ortiz picks up the mic, and Ortiz delivers heat on the microphone. He says, where I'm from, we don't do this. We settle shit with this. And I was like, beat his ass.
Did you notice how Jake Hager was almost like not even a part of this whole thing. They were both looking at Jericho, and Jake Hager's just over here, kind of off to the side.
Yeah,
just
he
standing
is just.
straight.
And
Chin
then,
up.
then Ortiz is like, us against Jericho and Hager. And Hager's kind of like, well, fuck you then. Like, what the hell did I do to
What
you?
the fuck did I do?
What did I do this whole I haven't said a thing. We're getting that next week. Ortiz crushed his promo. Santana
man.
crushed his promo. How do you not see championships in these guys? Whatever.
Yeah.
We get, oh man. This is
I do love the little pieces of Jericho's promo here.
Mm.
You can see how easy it is for him to slowly turn himself heel.
Yep.
And it takes him no time at all, man. Like, no fucking time at all. And he comes out. I've said this before, but like Jericho's one of those people that comes out. Everyone is going to chant every single word of his song. He's going to come into the ring and say 3 sentences, booze.
It was a good shit.
How?
It's good shit.
You can't teach that kind of shit. You know? It's just some shit that people have.
We get a backstage segment with Tony Schiavone interviewing Roppongi Vice. I was really excited.
Roppongi.
Are we ever going to get
Vice.
Roppongi Vice versus Young Bucks? They were saying that this was on for Rampage, and then the Bucks
Maybe
show up.
All Out.
Oh, man. Then the Bucks show up, and the Bucks and Adam Cole beat the shit out of Roppongi Vice. They hit a BTE trigger on Rocky, and as they're setting Trent up, Cole says, oh, look who it is. And it's Switchblade Jay White. Popping up out of nowhere. When I tell you I stood up out of my seat shaking it, worse than I was shaking, spoiler alert for tomorrow, my fucking foam roller like a mannequin head because of Al Snow. I was losing my mind. I was super pumped. I thought this was awesome. It was a little underwhelming for Jay White to be introduced this way, especially with what like the next segment was, but I love Jay White. I've always loved Jay White. I know Ethan is somebody that had to grow with Jay White, but I think you were excited too, no?
Oh, 100%. Jay White, you know what I mean? He's a star, you know, and seeing him show up here was sick. He hasn't wrestled fucking in Japan since May of last year, so he's just been kind of hanging out in America doing the Impact thing and doing the, you know, New Japan Strong thing.
And
which
he was having fun.
No offense to any of that, but, you know, Jay
He
White's
looked
a
like he
main
was having
eventer, man.
a lot of fun in Impact.
This dude fucking main evented the Tokyo Dome with Kazuchika Okada, like, you know, and it's just like, this guy main events the Tokyo Dome, and now he's just, you know, it just seems weird. So this, I don't know how much they're going to use him, but it's a big deal he's here, and I'm glad he's back, you know, on the level I feel like he needs to be on, because Jay White's not no offense to Impact or anything else, but, like, Jay White's a money man, dude. Like, he's a star. He's a main event guy, and I think it's sick that he's shown up.
We get Isaiah Cassidy hitting the ring for his match against the Forbidden Door participant, which is revealed to be Limitless Keith Lee. Courtland, I know how your girlfriend, wife, fiance, whatever you want to call her, y'all are married. It's fine. I know that Alex lost her fucking mind for this.
She did. She really did.
How did you respond when Keith Lee showed up?
I was eating a cookie, and I made no noise. I just walked to her, and I said, I just did hit this number while I was eating a cookie.
Yeah.
And I hit this number because she was in the hallway, and then she heard the call of Limitless, and then she went running and screaming, and I was like,
it's good shit.
Yeah, cool.
I was pretty pumped on this. I know it's, listen.
Underwhelming. And I like Keith Lee. I do enjoy it. I think that the role should have been reversed. You have
him
Keith
show
Lee
up
be the
first.
person walking up in the back in a random segment. You could have done it with like the Ass Boys attacking Christian and Lucha Express or Jungle Express, Jurassic Express, whatever, Lex Loser Express, whatever. Could have done an angle like that. They attack him, and then Keith Lee runs in, makes the save, and then you have Jay Lethal be the person in a match tonight as your free agent. But I get it, though. When it comes to like your American audience, more people are going to be familiar with Keith Lee, which makes more sense. But I think that Jay Lethal, like Ethan said, is one of those
Jay
people.
White.
Sorry, Jay White. The Jay White is one of those people that you're going to get a lot of eyes from all over the world with him. Especially, you're going to draw a huge Japanese audience with him, and it's just weird, man. I feel like Tony Khan saying that the free agent Forbidden Door signing is going to change the landscape of AEW forever. I'm hoping he was talking about Jay White. I don't think Keith Lee is going to shatter or break through any doors in AEW. And that's not me shitting on Keith Lee's work. Like, his work is great. But when it comes to that list of people that you have in All Elite Wrestling, where do you rank Keith Lee in your number one contender spot when you have people like Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega, Adam Cole? You have a list of people that, like, yeah, he can work great with all of them. But is Keith Lee going to run the hour on Dynamite? Is Keith Lee going to give you the 5-star match that you want, your 5-star draw?
But at the same time, Keith Lee, everybody don't need to do the 5-star routine.
No.
You know, Keith Lee, and that was my thing with the Jay White thing. I'm glad Jay White didn't wrestle, only because Jay White is that, you know what I mean? He is the 30, 45-minute guy, you know what I mean? He's a main event wrestler. You know, not saying Keith Lee's not a main event wrestler, but he's a different type, you know. I don't think he's going to get some insane world title run, but as far as like tonight went, throwing him in there, he's a perfect TV wrestler. And Isaiah Cassidy's that perfect opponent, you know, just bounce around off of Keith Lee for a little bit.
Oh, he
so
looked
I get
great.
your point. Yeah, I get your point about the Tony Khan says everyone's going to change the landscape of his company. He just is a mark like us. And that's cool.
He got put in the ladder match. Spoiler, Keith Lee wins. He gets put in this ladder match, but I think that is it 6 participants per usual ladder match? I imagine 6 people.
I have no idea.
Maybe more than that. I just don't see or care for Keith Lee to be the number one contender of the AEW Championship, and that's just me. You know, I enjoyed that he's here. I enjoyed that. We're going to see great matches from him, and the dude definitely deserves the money. He deserves the spotlight. He's a fucking amazing athlete. And I sound like I'm shitting on Keith Lee. I really don't want to. But it was just underwhelming for me, man. I don't feel like Keith Lee is that dude that, like, you put on the pedestal of glass breaking and he's going to set records and do all this stuff. Like, that's not the guy I'd really bill for that if I'm the one that's promoting it.
Keith Lee felt like a fucking megastar in Atlantic City.
He did. They made him look like a bigger star than WWE ever did. Mm-hmm. And they did it in 12 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Keith Lee's independent run, treat yourself with some of those matches, Courtland.
Yeah. Speaking of that, he wrestled Hangman Page for PWG in 2018. So if he did happen to be number one contender, they'd probably have a little banger. But
there's still a little bit of ring rust on Keith, and I think that was a little bit apparent here. But man, dude, Atlantic City showed some fucking love for Keith Lee. He really got to show off his power and athleticism in this match, and Cassidy sold his ass off for Keith. Lee wins with, I don't even know what to call it, but it's like a Death Valley Power Slam thing. It's an interesting move. It was sick. I liked it. I thought it was cool. I went 2 1/4 on it. I didn't think it was groundbreaking or anything, but I thought it was fun for what it was.
I went 3 stars.
I love that. Yes, good shit.
I mean, what more could I want from Keith Lee's first match? And to be honest, I mean, it highlighted all his strengths: flip around, throw people.
Jeff said the move is called the Big Bang that he won with. Courtland, what'd you go with it?
2.5.
Okay, so we were all pretty well in line. Ethan just really enjoyed it. That's awesome. Post-match, Cassidy and Mark Quinn try to double team Keith, but get fucking annihilated. Specifically, I do believe it was Mark Quinn got fucking powerbombed on the apron in the worst area he possibly could have been powerbombed in. I felt so bad for him. Quick tidbit about this. Midway through the match, Matt Hardy pulls a Jeff Hardy and bails out the exact same way that his brother did when he left WWE, which I thought was a nice little teaser without saying anything. It's like, don't mind me, I'm just going over the railing here and just walking away. But when I saw it, I was like, oh shit, that was the same exact thing, wasn't it? I thought it was cool. We get a recap of Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez from this past week. Britt Baker hired Martinez. And my hope is that this eventually turns into Rosa and Britt Baker for the AEW Women's World Championship. They're running a no disqualification match next week, Thunder Rosa versus Mercedes Martinez, and it should fucking rock.
Yep.
Sammy Guevara hits the whole cue cards in picture. I won't even lie, I got up and grabbed a drink, so if any of y'all wanted to say anything about it, okay, well, we'll move on. We have FTR with Tully Blanchard taking on CM Punk and the mystery partner of his choosing. Strictly out of curiosity, the one person you guys thought it would be, who was it?
Joe.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
I think we all were like, give us the trifecta, damn it.
I wanted it so bad.
But we didn't get it. We get Jon Moxley, and Mox was such a perfect mystery partner that he was overlooked. Like, it was great. Yeah. I didn't take many notes on this match because I really just invested myself into the match. It was fucking excellent. Ethan, do you have anything on it? Courtland, do you have anything on it?
I don't have anything written down, but I remember pieces of it that I enjoyed. FTR, man, they're just fucking fantastic. You can hear the calls between Cash and Dax during this match. Splitting the ring in half, Cash screaming, bring him back to me. Them doing quick tags during lifts, middle of spots, just getting those sneak tags in. They know where a ref is all the time. It's some of the best shit you will ever see, and it comes straight from the both of them. CM Punk selling the leg is so important in this match. And he's selling it for Irish whips. He's selling it for dives out of the ring. He sells it for the entire duration of this match. You do not see that enough in pro wrestling. If there's a limb target match style, I want to see that in your fire up. I want to see it in your comeback. I want to see it in the finish. And CM Punk ran it to perfection tonight. I love to see it, man. Jon Moxley did a fantastic job. The near falls were great. I love the bit that Cash has the time, the ring bell rather, and they have that spot where the same way they went over Penta and Rey Fenix. It hit CM Punk, and CM Punk kicks out just in time of the 2 7/8. That crowd lost their shit. And the selling on Dax and Cash both told the story of, like, I'm exhausted. This guy is the real fucking deal. I don't know if I can do this. Yeah. I gotta say it, man. This is as close as I can get to a 5-star match without being 5 stars, without watching it a second time. So I'm giving this 4 3/4, man. I cannot find a single thing about this match that I did not like.
I'm probably going to rewatch it immediately after. I am going to go 4.5 on this. I thought it was fucking awesome, dude. And anything over 4, I always kind of want to retouch on just to make sure that I'm not crazy about it. Like about the rating. And yeah, dude, I just thought this was fucking excellent. Punk really did sell his ass off. I just feel like Punk is consistently finding his groove. Yes. He's not a guy that is like the sexiest wrestler in the world, right? Everything he does isn't very crisp. Like, it's raw. A lot of it is still raw. But that motherfucker can sell and tell a story like none other. And it was on full display here, man. Just a masterclass from all 4 guys. Mox was the perfect running mate for Punk. Just a tough, gritty guy. There was a moment where I think it was after they hit the Shatter Machine. And
it was so good.
Mox gets inside. Mox gets
Jesus.
inside. The pin takes forever to happen, so Mox is just kind of doing his fucking whole thing,
Dude,
and then finally breaks the shit up.
Straight up. That brings me to the point I was gonna make. Moxley and these fucking tags. One of the highest rated matches I had last year was the Moxen Kingston versus the Bucks at Double or Nothing.
Great.
And a lot of it is just fucking Mox, dude. He's such a good fucking baby face in peril. You know what I mean? And just like this fired up baby face, fucking hometown fucking. You know what I mean? It's just like he's just that guy. He's a badass. But to me, man, until he goes for the title again, I want to see him in a tag. Put him in Kingston back. Yeah, like he's just so because he's a badass, but he sells and he just I can't even find the words to fucking describe it. He's just that fucking white meat baby face sometimes.
The credit's got to be given, dude. You got Seth and Dean as a team for years in and every great most of every great tag team got cycled through WWE during the time that they're a tag team. They've wrestled everybody. They did it all, you know? So like when it comes to, I feel like it's no surprise that Dean is still one of the best tag team wrestlers.
A fucking right name.
John. Like I know the guy. Moxley is still, he has to be considered one of the best tag team technical wrestlers. Like he understands the psychology of tag team wrestling.
Yep, he understands where he needs to be, what his spot is, what his role is, and
he knows his role. Dude.
Yeah,
this match
he has to
perfect.
be.
I just want to see Moxley and Punk and Kingston and Darby and that little fucking group of these ultra baby faces against fucking FTR any night of the week and against any solidified heel team because it's gonna fucking rule. Just let them get their ass beat and fire the fuck back up and sell.
Mox is not the guy that gets his ass beat to get like garner sympathy. He has to, like, when they're planning this shit out, he has to be like, all right, you're gonna fucking take all the heat. I'm gonna continue to try to get the hope spot because nobody's believing that I'm like, please help me. Like he's the fucking guy that saves everybody, right? And that's the thing about Mox, man. He just knows exactly who he needs to be and what role he's filling. And Punk did a great job here being the guy that's like, my knee's fucked up, like I'm compromised, I really need your help. And Mox is like, I fucking got it, baby, don't even worry. I just thought it was a great match. 4.5 for me. Ethan, what'd you go?
I'm 4.25. I'm gonna rewatch it and see. I might go 4.5 on it. But I'm going to stick with my instinct right now. But I loved it. It's my third favorite match of the year so far. I even put it ahead of Punk MJF from last week. I just thought it fucking rocked. Yeah. FTR tag title run the Bucks match back. Give me Red Dragon. I want it all. FTR needs a year-long title reign. That's it.
I feel like you've changed your mind on FTR recently.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I'm glad.
And I love it, dude. It's making me so happy. It makes me so happy, dude. I genuinely believe it. I genuinely believe that FTR is the greatest tag team in professional wrestling walking the fucking planet today. And if you disagree with that, you're fucking wrong. There is no way you can compare it to any other current pro wrestling and say that this style, psychology-wise, is better.
I'm with you. I saw it.
To me, they're literally the perfect... and I'm not, and I know you won't like this, but I'm just because of my personal taste, I'm not going to say one's better than the other. But to me, they're the perfect opposite end of the other best tag team in the world, the Young Bucks. They're the opposite. I agree. They do everything that they do everything perfect that the Bucks, they have emphasis on two different things, and I need that match again.
I need a 45-minute banger from them. Give them the fucking world. Let it happen.
Yes. Let's talk about it for a second. Dude. Years ago, we get a tweet from the Young Bucks that say, we're going to wrestle FTR one day and everybody will rejoice. We see it. It's fucking fantastic. And now, years later, after the match, we're still like, fuck, give it to me again.
Well, wasn't it again? That was when Matt had like, he was having issues with like his meniscus at that time. So it was like, it just came out. So it was like, this match might be a little watered down. And it was good, but I still feel like they have a lot left in the tank that they could do.
They have a bunch more matches.
Do you remember the kick that he hit? Where like his leg gives out, like his ankle gives out in the super kick, and like he just collapsed into himself. And like the way they just fell together, you can't You can't
Yeah.
even plan shit that good. Like that's where the line is drawn between the pro wrestling and then real life.
Yes.
And those are the teams that know how to blur it the best.
'Twas good shit. Moving forward, we had Jade Cargill with Smart Mark Sterling defending her TBS championship in an open challenge against AQA, who, in her little promo thing she got, said, I was trained under the legendary Booker T. Somebody who has been adamantly against almost everything AEW. Made me laugh a little bit that he got name dropped specifically on AEW. This match was, it was fine, man. It went a little long for Jade, but AQA looked fine. I feel like it just fell apart in the last 30 seconds, but AQA hit a sweet shooting star press, looked fucking awesome.
It did.
Real Billy Kidman-like type shit on AEW. But yeah, like after that spot, it just was like, it fell apart. It felt like a Doug Furnace match from ECW circa 98. It just was a mess. So, I went 2 1/4 on it. I thought it was fine, but, God bless that ending was, liquid shit. Ethan, what you got?
I need to watch the Jade Cargill Anna Jay match from Rampage because I was in the Everything Elite Discord that I'm a proud patron of. And I mentioned, because when it first started, I really was shocked that it was going so well early, and I was like, this might be one of the better Jade matches. And obviously it did kind of fall apart there near the end, but someone mentioned that the Anna Jay match was decent as well. So I need to go watch that back. But I still, was it good?
I enjoyed the Anna Jade Cargill match. I think that was probably one of Jade's best showings.
Yeah. So in here, I enjoyed this showing. To me, it was better. I enjoyed it more than her TBS tournament matches.
Oh yeah.
Because who did Jade face? I don't want to mispronounce her name.
On this, it was just AQA.
AQA. I've never seen AQA. Never heard of AQA, but she's good. She's good. And I enjoyed this match. I went 2 1/2. Yeah.
Courtland, I can tell that you didn't make the 2-star threshold. Floor is yours, man.
I'm sitting flat at 2 stars.
Oh, okay.
There are pieces of this match that are good. The timing is off a lot. AQA spent a lot more time with her head down instead of waiting and watching for her spot. To the point where, like, there were missteps from Jade just because she's either waiting on her to come back and, like, feed her more, or she's, like, running at her for a corner spot, but her head's down because she's fucking with her hair again. And, like, it got to the point where, like, after the 3rd time of me noticing that, like, the hair is becoming a problem in this match, it lost all of it for me.
Yeah, it took
the
it
shooting
fully
star
out of
press
you.
looked great. Jade looks great, a fucking course. I love the setup for her finisher. Getting there is always great. That, like, spin around, like, crossbody slam.
Oh, the
thing.
fucking tour of the islands that she tried?
Tour of the island.
Yeah,
It's
going
like
for the Jeff
like
Cobb
old school.
Siggy.
Yeah, it's like old school Bam Bam. Like, I loved seeing it. It looked super cool. And, yeah, man, it's too flat. I don't want to spend too much time on it. I'm glad that Jade's getting her feet under her, though. I will say that.
Yes.
Yes.
And I feel
like she can tell when shit's going awry now, and she can kind of, like,
hey, let's change this
in.
shit up.
She knows how to get to be.
Yep.
And she knows how to just get it up and get it done with.
Her confidence is getting there,
that.
man. She's figuring it out.
I love seeing people slowly get to where it's like, all right, I really am getting it. I'm really understanding it. Yep. And now that she's, like, in that little area where she's confident in herself and, like, where she's at mentally in the ring, I'm starting to enjoy it a lot more.
I like it. We get a backstage segment between Adam Cole and the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks question why Jay White was there with them. Cole said something, I didn't make a note of it, but he said, well, you know how it is. When you're Bullet Club once, you're Bullet Club forever.
Bullet Club for life.
Yeah, it was. I popped big for that fucking sentence.
Yeah.
And I love that they touched, not to cut you off on detail in the segment,
Yep.
but I love whenever they touched on Jay and Kenny's past history.
Yeah, like, I don't know if you knew this, but they were real big rivals. Like, they hated each other. So what was your thought there?
He's like, if you can trust me,
you can trust Jay White.
Oh,
you know where this is going.
Like,
yes, you know where this is going, and it's fucking good shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
now, here's the thing. Here's the deal. When's God going to show up?
They have to, right? They have to.
And the thing about it is I don't see God getting along with Adam Cole.
Cole is the issue right now, right? Cole is the guy that is just, he's so dumb, doesn't realize that his friends tried to kill him in BTE, right? Refuses to acknowledge that, and is just blatantly overlooking how much Red Dragon, specifically Kyle O'Reilly, doesn't like him, how much he's going to get used by Jay White, and how much he's going to get used to get Bullet Club into AEW if that's where this goes.
Like, dude,
Adam Cole is the perfect
so
vessel for it all.
There's so many different ways you can go.
Anything goes guy.
He can make it serious. He can make it funny.
Yeah.
It's just, there's so many different ways it can go because the whole Bullet Club thing has so many different vessels. You know what I mean? Like,
I got you 6 months booking right here, but I got
like Jay and Kenny don't get along. Kenny and Cole don't get along. I don't see God fucking with Adam Cole. I really
feel
don't.
Like the best way to go about this would be for Jay and the Bucks to get annoyed by each other and argue. Adam get in the middle of it, causing everyone to be mad at Adam. And then you have Red Dragon, of course, defending Adam no matter what. And then you got God come out, and then you set up God versus the Bucks or God versus Red Dragon. And then you get Kenny. Kenny comes out and you set up Kenny versus Jay White right there on the fucking spot. You got Red Dragon versus God, and you got Adam Cole doing whatever he wants with the Bucks.
We're gonna get a 3-man triple threat. We're gonna get
it has to
Cole and Red Dragon versus the Elite versus Bullet Club. That's where it's gonna end up, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But where's the Doc and Gallows land?
I don't think you see them back in AEW for a while.
Yeah. But I feel like they should be. I mean, they're Impact champions, are they not?
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, God and all them are on Impact right now.
Exactly. I feel like it wouldn't make sense to like have all these guys cycling through these doors and then 2 of the guys that you've already had on don't come back. Doesn't really make sense, especially if they're holding the belts. You know, that only represents Impact even more.
I just truthfully want to know what the end game, because to me they have to have an end game. This entire Bullet Club Elite Super Click thing, they have to have a final blow off for it all. And the thing is, there's so many names. Who's going to truthfully side with who? Because the Good Brothers and God don't get along. Nope. God and Jay White aren't going to be fucking with Kenny and the Bucks, and Cole and Red Dragon are just their own little thing.
Dragon.
I just want.
There's so many pieces to the pie, boys, and I'm so ready to find out the recipe.
I just want Tama Tonga to show up on my fucking TV on Wednesday and slap the shit out of everybody. So I just want him to slap the shit out of everybody.
Tama Tonga has one of the best promos of the past 10 years on YouTube.
Oh. Courtland, we'll send it to you after this, and you have to watch it.
It's from the G1 in 2017.
It's so good. It's so good.
I'm a huge Tama Tonga fan.
Deserves the world.
I really hope that we see him in the States more than just an Impact stint, because he needs the spotlight like AEW has in America.
Yeah. And one last thing I'd like to throw out there about this whole thing tonight. I think it's going to do great business for New Japan. Because the New Japan, they haven't done great on their own in drawing in the shows in the States outside of those joint shows with ROH. But my thing is, obviously, a New Japan AEW show I think will happen eventually. I don't think it's soon, but I think it will happen, a joint show, whether it's in Japan or in America, and that will be insane business. Mm-hmm. But until then, you know, New Japan's got that show in Illinois in April that Jay White and Moxley are all on. God, it's such a win to me for New Japan. You know, not that, you know, technically New Japan is a bigger company than AEW in the grand scheme of it all, but in America, AEW is going to help them a lot in drawing those shows.
Yeah, AEW
for
pulled
sure.
a ton of casual fans, right? And so it's just going to expose so many casual fans to New
And
Japan.
I think it helps a lot whenever it comes to, like, if we can get just 2 guys from New Japan to come over to AEW, that opens that door of that line of communication where it's like, hey, we would really love to see Danielson in G1.
Yep.
We would really love to
And,
see
dude,
this happen. Is
the
it possible
thing
if I can
is,
get
we've
if I can get
had
10 dates, I'll give you 16 matches.
we've had Rocky Romero, and I feel like
it's a
he's the
no-brainer.
bridge for everything.
Rocky is
Exactly.
helping a lot. And what I'd like to note on is I feel like AEW starting and ROH shitting the bed in the partnership and then COVID happening kind of put a reset on what New Japan was going towards. Because New Japan got super hot in 2012, 2013 and started peaking in 16, 17. But also what happens in 16, 17. The elite start popping off just as much. And they're like, we want to do our own thing. And then ROH starts doing bad business. And so you have ROH doing bad business with New Japan. And then all of New Japan's half of their top guys who are Gaijin, English American wrestlers who Japanese, they've made the forefront of their company in their country. They're not being shitty, but they're like, hey, we're going to take, y'all gave us the stage. We got it super popular. Now we're going to take it, make our own thing and leave you high and dry. The 2 of those things rubbed them super wrong. And so that line of communication was cut for a while. And I feel like now we're gradually seeing it. And now I think it's going to help New Japan explode back into the limelight because, there's a lot of bad circumstances happened.
New Japan's biggest Wrestle Kingdom was the one that Jericho was on, right? So, like, why not have
Wrestle Kingdom 2015 felt fucking. That was the first one that I watched, and it felt huge though.
Yeah, I think it was. It drew more numbers in the States than any other Wrestle Kingdom ever.
Really?
And if you're not why wouldn't you want to work with a company that has forefronted that guy? And especially if they loved Jericho over there, man. They said that he did fucking great business with them. Got them a shit ton of steam, And
I don't know if y'all heard, but apparently there's a little bit of a rocky situation with Jay White and wrestling in Japan. Because, he's working New Japan strong, but fucking, FinJuice kind of just let their contracts expire with New Japan. They're not even contracted to New Japan anymore. And Jay White hasn't been over there since May because he was tired of the COVID shit and he didn't want to stay stuck over there. And apparently they kind of had it out. Dick Togo and Jay White and all them kind of had it out, like in real life, from what I was hearing the other day. So it's going to be interesting, but I think we're headed towards, a more positive working relationship with the 2.
Yes, and we need all the fruitful shit. Jeff and Jordan in the chat saying, I need Danielson Okada. I'm on board entirely.
Oh, yeah.
After that, you get Serena Deeb versus local talent Katie Arquette. Courtland, we get an Arquette on our TV for the first time in a long time.
Not the one that I want, but it's an Arquette nonetheless.
Deeb says that she doesn't think there's a woman in the locker room that can last 5 minutes in the ring with her. Now, I know where this is going to end up, and I know it's going to be Sheeta defeating, defeating Deeb again. But god damn it, do I want the former Ember Moon. I want Athena to show up in this spot. Yeah. I just think it'd be so sick.
I'll leave right now.
And the women's roster needs help, brother. Anyway, this lasted a minute. She channeled her inner Bonesaw McGraw and said, "You got 5 minutes with me, brother." And
5 minutes, 3 minutes of playtime.
Playtime. And it was what it was. It lasted a minute. We moved on. I went half a star because it did nothing for me. Anybody rate this? Because I'm sure y'all have duds.
I didn't rate it, but I love Serena Deeb.
Yep.
Hope this continues. Hope we get a good finish to this whole 5 minute rookie challenge.
That's cool. For AEW Rampage next week, we hear from Bryan Danielson next week, this Friday. We have Young Bucks versus Roppongi Vice, if that actually happens. We have Hook versus Blake Lee, which is QT Marshall's guy. We have Britt Baker taking on Robin Renegade. And Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus defending their AEW World Tag Team Championships against the Ass Boys, the Gun Club.
Lackluster.
Will I watch it? Yes. Do I hope that Danhausen shows up on Friday? Yes.
Yes.
And that is why I will be watching it. And then we make it to our main event. And that is Hangman Adam Page, our AEW World Heavyweight Champion, defending his title against Lance Archer in a Texas death match. As Archer is making his entrance, Hangman beats his ass and fucks him up for the first few minutes, putting him through a pane of glass that busts Archer open pretty quickly. Archer gets the upper hand after countering a Hangman dive with the help of a trash can lid. They head out into the crowd, and Hangman hits a sick moonsault from the barricade. I stopped taking notes after Dan Lambert popped up out of nowhere to take the top rope off. I even texted Ethan. I messaged Ethan specifically when the whole eye thing happened with Hangman. He gets color so well, man. He just fucking gets it. And him like bleeding in these title matches make them feel so significant. Just because we haven't gotten that from Hangman. And so, man, this match fucking rocked. It was mega violent. We had a fork spot from Lance Archer. It was just a mess. We get Hangman winning with a buckshot lariat going over the referee, putting both men through tables, and Hangman just so happened to make it up for the 10 count, and Archer did not, to retain his title. Ethan, what'd you go?
3 3/4, and honestly, I feel bad not going 4, only because, I feel like we're taking for granted the fact that Hangman's out here bleeding buckets once a month now, to kind of solidify that, hey, man, I'm willing to do whatever.
Yep.
To show that I am the fucking world champion. So once again, as always, like Mike said, I'm going to go do my rewatch on my match rating archive and see my rating by quarter. But I will rewatch it and see where I'm at. But Hangman's the fucking dude. I mean, this was about what you'd expect, just a bunch of bloody spots and shit. Lance Archer's such a good wrestler, but he looks so damn stupid that I want to hate him. But yeah.
But man, he looked great tonight, man.
Mm-hmm.
Lance Archer did look good tonight.
Yeah.
He did.
Oh yeah, he's the perfect second little TV, not throwaway opponent for Hangman, but that guy where he's not gonna win, but he's gonna fucking have a great match. So,
and he looks like, he's fucking huge, right? Like,
yes.
He's not like, oh, this guy's not believable to be a champion. Like, he looks fucking crazy. And so
and people love him.
Dude, that's the craziest part. If you haven't seen Lance Archer live, you don't believe the pop that motherfucker gets live.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
Wild, dude.
It's big.
I'm with you, man. I went 3 3/4. This was fucking a blast. It was ridiculous. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. It might just be the inner ECW 98 that we're running right now, but I was feeling it in my bones. Courtland, what you got?
I went 3 1/4. I enjoyed it for what it was. I'm not really big into like the fork bullshit, and I'm just gonna stab your face a bunch and all that dumbass shit. But I mean, they went out and they did exactly what they meant to do, and that was to have a blood match, have a feud, have a good blow off to this thing. Hangman looked fucking fantastic in this match. Felt like he could take up the world, and didn't matter what Archer threw at him. It looked like he could withstand it all, and that's exactly what you want from your world champion. So hats off to all of them. Really glad that it looked like all of them walked out, that both of them walked out, which is always a good thing to see whenever you have a match that doesn't have a top fucking rope.
Yeah, what a shit.
Like, Jesus fuck, man. I did enjoy, got a huge pop out of me, dude. Jake the Snake Roberts hitting that fucking rolling elbow, baby. I loved it.
Dude, it was, that short arm clothesline had me fucking hype. And it had Atlantic City on their feet, brother.
Oh, baby, go! And then he broke it up, and I was like, man, that's exactly what it needed to be. It looks like we're getting the breakaway of Jake Roberts and Lance Archer. You hate to see it at some point, like Jake the Snake's obviously a legend. When he steps away from Lance Archer, potentially seeing the last of Jake the Snake on national television for the foreseeable future, potentially ever. So you hate that, but is Lance Archer that guy you want to see with Dan Lambert? You know?
No.
I don't know, man. I don't really know what they're doing with Lance Archer. Yet it just feels like he's that Texas death match wrestler that we got anytime we need that Texas death match on our belt.
Fucking Texas death match. There was a moment where he hits
Put the motherfucker with the braids in there.
Dude. There's a moment where he hit the blackout on Paige onto the stairs that were sideways.
Oh my God. Oh man.
Paige lands.
Oh, that was nasty.
And
Did
it
you
looked
see
like
Paige hit his hand on like the.
Did he
like,
break his finger and snap the
I think
fucker
he
back in
did.
place?
I think he did because he hits it and then he slams
And he's
his
selling.
hand, like on
He's-
that ring.
And he's
that
selling,
frame,
and then
right?
he looks at it and just goes, and like is pulling the shit. And I was like, ugh, like,
Yeah, he looked at it and I was like, I think it's broken. And I see him go like this. And I was like, it's broken.
oh, dude. I don't know if
Oh.
it, like, I wasn't sure if it cut his hand, if he broke his finger or what. But, like, the ref
Oh.
was, like, right there. I'm pretty sure it was Paul Turner, right there with him. And I don't know if he was like, I need you to break this son of a bitch back in place. This shit hurts. Like, but,
Oh,
dude, it was a gruesome spot. And then they show the replay, and you see the stairs, like, cave in. It was just a mess. How do you
man,
not
it
go?
looked great.
Give it 3.5, Courtland. Come on. After the match, you had Adam Cole make his way down, and he grabs the belt from the referee and puts it on Hangman Page's shoulder, but kind of gives him the, hey, motherfucker, you're holding on to mine. And that's how we go off air. I thought it was a lovely
do you want to
lovely
see it,
time.
man? Do you want to see Adam Cole Hangman this soon?
Adam versus Adam. Let them fight for the name Adam. I think I'm in.
I have a contract on a pole match.
I'm in. I'm in.
I'm Adam. No, I'm Adam.
I'm Adam. And then you have Adam Sure, fucking Titan Sure show up. Control the narrative. Like he just fucking loses his mind.
Oh my God, dude. And you have Adam Cole being like, yeah, but they say Adam Cole, baby. Like,
Oh,
it would be
my-
fucking annoying.
It would be
dude.
a fucking mess. Adam Sure being on TV in general. You sent that thing in the chat today of Adam, or like fucking whatever you want to call him, Titan Sure, in a damn like video game. And I was like, this fucking guy, man. This fucking guy.
Adam Sure.
Adam
Sure.
Adam Sure. What a mess. Fellas, anything that you wanted to add? Because we are officially at the end of our episode of AEW Dynamite from tonight.
Oh, you know, the same old plugs. Do check out our episode ECW Living Dangerously 98 that drops at 10 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow, that being Thursday. We're super excited about this podcast we did. I think it's one of our better ones. We had a great time. Ethan was coffeeed up, unhinged.
Oh, man. Ethan
Hey,
was
buddy.
unhinged and feral last night.
Listen,
Oh,
y'all
man.
found it. Y'all found the secret weapon that I need to ascend to a new fucking level. And
Yeah,
guess
I'm
what?
gonna hit you from now on. I'm gonna hit you at like 8:45.
You got that coffee in you, bud? Go ahead, buddy. Pour it in you. I have a coffee
No,
mug
I mean-
for you, bud. You
Dude,
can sip it on the
listen.
pod.
I can't lie.
Snap proof of 2 cups down before
Oh,
10 p.m.
man.
I can't lie to y'all. I drank the same shit today at work around 1 or 2. And dude, I was wired up talking to everybody, and I don't talk to people I work with. I was like, yo, what you doing? How's it going over there? Going, dude. And customers would come up to me, and I would just be like, yeah, this is what we do. We do this. You want one of these? You can do this, and you can do that. And I was like, dude, I sound like I'm on the podcast talking about Doug Furnace.
Oh, my God.
Oh man, but all I gotta say is fuck Jason, dead or
Fuck
alive.
Jason. I don't need his last name, dead or alive.
Yo, watch the fucking shit tomorrow.
Oh, man.
Watch it. We're super excited about it. Please do like and subscribe this video and all of our other videos on the Up and Over Podcast YouTube. If you get through our Spotify episodes, do give us a 5-star rating as well as over at Apple Podcast. You know, plug. We're gonna Mike, plug something.
Yeah. UpAndOverPodcast.com. That's where you can buy shirts,
That's the
koozies, fanny packs, really whatever you wanted to get. Still waiting on custom pit vipers, but we'll see if they ever come out. Jeff actually said, wait, Jason Knight, ? Yes. If you watch the episode, you will find out that I expose his last name, and the dichotomy of what happens with Ethan and Doug Furness is a wild ride to jump on. It's
shout
a mess.
out Al Snow.
Shout out Al Snow.
Watch it for Al Snow. I really do employ it. If you do watch it on the spot or listen to it on Spotify while you're at work,
watch the last 20 minutes on YouTube.
Take your time. Take the 20 minutes out of your day when you get home. You're hanging out with the kids. You know, you're fucking smoking a little dopes.
Oh my God, Jesus!
Any of the stuff that you kids do nowadays, you know. Really just jump around because our facial expressions sell this episode. I'm super excited to do it with the group of people that we're doing it with. Up and Over is doing a lot of cool things coming, and we're going to keep doing shit last minute, and that's what makes it spontaneous and great.
I will never, ever, ever falter from watching the damn the pay-per-view in question minutes before we go live.
Like, you watch it minutes before we go live, and I run these shits like 2 or 3 times just to be sure I'm not fucking.
And I'm just like fucking winging it. I'm over here like I skipped through half this match. It's fine. I don't have notes for
You're
it.
like, let me go to 411 Mania. What did he?
It's no, absolutely not.
That's not the good one. I'll say this too: if you're out there and you wanna see us in person, you wanna come hang out with us. There's a lot of good wrestling shows coming around the Carolinas up here in the next month or two. We're going to be at these goddamn events, buddy. Maybe we'll get a little list together on the next episode. Not the one that's dropping tomorrow. Maybe next week we'll get a little list together where you can come find our honky asses.
Yes.
Yes, sir. The goal is to at least get some video stuff in that we can release for our Columbia AEW Dynamite and Rampage taping. Me, Mike, Ethan, our homie Donnie, I believe Donnie's going to be there as well.
Yep.
Tyler McGarrahan, very close friend.
Jeff should be there.
Love Tyler.
It's going to be a blast.
Be there, of course. We're going to have a great time. We're going to film a lot of stuff. I'm going to make Mike chug milkshakes from Cookout.
If you don't think I'll stone cold some milkshakes for them,
I'm gonna drink coffee before I go to that bitch.
Oh, we're going, baby, and we're gonna have coffee at the hotel. We're going fucking live.
Oh, you getting a hotel?
All right.
Buddy, I'm gonna come up there and get our asses booed.
All right, fellas.
Yeah, Tom McGarrahan's bringing the baby. We're gonna.
Holy shit! All right, so here's the deal. UpAndOverPodcast.com. Go buy merch. If you do, tweet at us at UpAndOverPod on YouTube or on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok. We're everywhere. Tomorrow's reel is going to be a blast on Instagram. Please do not miss that.
Don't judge me.
It's the wild ride of Doug Furness and Ethan.
Mad respect to Doug Furness. That he had.
I'm so excited to clip stuff from this specifically. If you listen to the Up and Over podcast on Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star rating. If you listen to it on Spotify, after you get through the episode, 5-star rating on here. Like, subscribe this video specifically, and do the same tomorrow. Subscribe to us on here. And you know what? We'll be back next week, next Wednesday. This has been a wild ride, a shit show, and I just want to leave you guys with one thing only. What does everybody want? Head.
Head.